8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening.
Hey.
And welcome to Truth Behind the Truth. Guys, we're so excited to welcome you to us this evening. Want to welcome our YouTube family, our Facebook family, and soon to be our Instagram family.
Yes.
Guys, it's been an exciting day. I hope everybody out there has had a great Saturday. Yeah. Did you have a great Saturday?
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Fantastic.
Yes. We got a guest.
I forgot about
yes.
Oh,
we got a guest right there waiting to be introduced.
I got to bring it short for then I'll give a great segue for one forget.
All right.
Okay. However, I want to welcome everybody in. Want to remind you that we're here every Saturday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. East. Pacific time. There we go.
Yeah, Pacific time.
I got it right one more time.
Well, listen, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, exactly.
It is what it is.
Going across the bottom.
Yes, going across the bottom.
Welcome, Melissa, to the show. But anyway, guys, I want to remind you to go to the Truth Behind the Truth page, get that T-shirt. Oh, you're wearing yours tonight? Yes, get that T-shirt. All right, get that T-shirt. Go right to the page and be able to get that as well. Mom's on as well. Mom just said hi to us as well.
Hey.
So I want to welcome everybody again to us tonight. We're going to have a great talk. Tonight is going to be host chat, or what we call a host chat, hot topics.
Hot topics.
It's going to be a great night tonight. Next week, we'll be back with, oh my God, I am so excited next week for our guests.
All right.
Our guest actor, Keith Burke. Yes, from the Have and the Have-Nots. Will be with us next week. Is that not exciting?
Yeah.
Tell you, that Actor Symposium is just getting bigger and bigger, greater and greater. All that you can say. Got some wonderful more guests coming up for the rest of the month and going to next month with the Actor Symposium, guys. So we're excited about that as well. So that big Zoom that we're going to do in December.
Yeah.
Going to be awesome. Yeah. All right. Without further ado, let me bring to y'all. He's been here waiting for us. A great interview. Y'all seen him. But our brother, our friend, our time to time now from this point forward will be co-hosting with us every now and then with us, coming on board, our wonderful brother. The accolades just go on. Author, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, juicer, exerciser, car enthusiast, East Coast, West Coast connection, fitness guru. Okay, can we go on? Jack of all trades. Yes, sir. One man himself, my brother, our brother, Mr. Harold LaFall. Welcome to the show tonight, Mr. Harold.
What's up, JB and D?
Yes.
What's up? Thank you guys so much for having me. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So what's been going on in your world, Harold?
Well, you know what? So I'm getting ready to do a juice cleanse challenge later on this month, a 10-day juice cleanse challenge. So I'm getting ready for that and just inviting people to join in for that because, the holiday seasons are coming and a lot of people have experienced the COVID-19 gain. No, the COVID-15, the 15 gain. Right. So want to make sure that, helping to prepare people to kind of release some of that weight prior to the holidays, because those holiday times are when folks are eating a whole bunch of stuff. And so we're having a 10-day juice cleanse challenge. It's October 23rd to November 1st.
Excellent. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
So how's enrollment going with everyone? Do you have like a full plan for everybody to follow with that? That you're sending out? Okay.
Yeah, so one of the things that we're doing is we're having daily motivational videos with recipes to give people ideas of what to do. Because sometimes when people hear a juice cleanse challenge, they've never done it before. It's kind of intimidating. Like, what do I do? What do I juice? How much juice should I be consuming every day? And can I exercise? And so those types of things will be covered, in the daily videos that we'll be sending out.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Wow.
So is there a what we can do for that is that we will put a link up on the Truth Behind Truth page.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we can invite everybody that can. Is there a deadline for everyone to be get involved with it?
No, well, we start October 23rd. It's free
Okay.
it's free to sign up, and all you gotta do is get your juice. And every
Okay.
day you'll get daily recipes and, and motivation and tips of how to successfully complete the challenge.
Okay, that's awesome. That is so ingenious. I like that idea. I'm hoping that I can, my system will allow me to maybe to begin to participate in that because I really would like to, But as we're speaking health, I'm one that sits here without a gallbladder, which you and I have shared that before, and
Right.
my body unfortunately doesn't process things the same way. So. Anything strained, typically juice wise, a lot of times will just end up going right through me. So I'm hoping that, you and I will be able to chat offline and see what's something that we can maybe put together, to make that, make that happen for me, because I really need to, to look into some other opportunities, with that.
But you know what? Harold, you mentioned that people will find this type of situation very intimidating when it boils down to certain, I think, health, things that with juicing and exercising at this point. Now that we're going through the COVID and everything, and people are stressing and people are going through anxieties, either dealing with homelessness, finances, and stuff of this nature. I think anything that deals with health is wealth at this point.
Absolutely.
And and to be honest with you, with everything that's going on COVID wise, that's defeating our antibodies or whatever immune system that that you need to fight off. You need those nutrients. You need that healthy, those raw vegetables, those raw fruits.
Right.
And I wouldn't at this point find that intimidating, but for those who feel like that's intimidating, I'm sorry, please take stock of your health, because right now health is wealth.
Absolutely.
So people do this plan. Follow Harold, please do.
And do you make such a good point? Like in this era where we're talking about coronavirus, all we're hearing about is a vaccine. But what we're not hearing and talking about is what we can do to boost our immune system, which helps our bodies to fight off disease and ailments. And I got into juicing really after my cancer diagnosis 5 years ago, and discovered how healing, juicing, and getting those nutrients in your body is so critical to your body functioning properly. Because there's a study that's out that showed that only 1 in 10 adults eat the proper amount of fruits and vegetables. So if we're not consuming the recommended amount of fruits and vegetables every day, it makes our body susceptible to all kind of disease and illnesses, including cancer.
That's true. That is so true.
Yeah.
So just explain real quick, and we'll move on. So in the aspect of kind of give, I guess, the audience a little bit of what they can expect from the following your plan with this. What type of vegetables is going to be best suited for this cleansing?
Mm-hmm. So spinach is like a staple for the juicing cleanse that I have. Spinach, kale, beets. Beets are. I just recently discovered. But JB, I just recently discovered these golden beets, and they taste totally different than red beets, but they have the same health benefits. They taste more like a carrot. They have more. They're sweeter taste.
Wow.
They don't have that earthy taste that the red beets have. And so they're really delicious. And that's one of the things that we're doing over the 10 days is trying to expose folks to different vegetables and fruits that they may not be familiar with, to make it more appetizing, because a lot of people don't like beets. A lot of people don't even like spinach. And so, and sharing with them ways to make those vegetables more appeasing, So you add an apple and a lime or lemon to any kind of vegetable, and you're gonna get a much palatable. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So we that unfortunately have that major sweet tooth. How do you balance in the sweet tooth with this as to be able to is there going to be more? Well, I think zinc is one of the things that's a supplement that helps balance out or L-carnitine. Zinc and L-carnitine, I think, are the two that balances out sweet tooth.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, you know, JB, one of the things that I discovered in doing a juice cleanse that was really helpful for me is that doing a cleanse helps you to reset your eating habits as well as your taste buds.
Okay.
So for me, I'm one of those types of people. Like, I have a sweet tooth too, and I'm the type of person, I can't just eat a piece of chocolate. You know how you see people they can just eat a piece and they're satisfied.
Right.
This chocolate left, I'm gonna eat it. You know, that's I don't have an off.
Why waste the rest of the sweet, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't have an off button. So when I did my first juice cleanse ever, it was a 30-day juice cleanse I did back in March, and I did it because I had gained some weight. I had gained about 15 pounds, and COVID had just hit. The gyms were closed, and I was very concerned about gaining weight, because the reason I exercise is just so I can eat what I wanted to eat, and I'm a snacker. I like to snack, and so what the juice cleanse did for me, it got me out of that snacking cycle of just eating, while I was on the computer it got me out of that. And so it really helped to reset my eating habits, and it helped to curb that sweet tooth that I have. And then there's so many juices that are very sweet that can help with that. Anything with pineapples, apples, pears, honey melons, would definitely help, with those of us who like something sweet.
Oh, but there's nothing like a good piece of peach cobbler. Can you juice a peach cobbler into there? Little sweet potato pie juice in it. Like,
right.
But all seriously,
the taste is satisfying, but when it settles in your system,
that's
another story.
Exactly.
I mean, that's another battle to fight.
Exactly.
Everything that tastes good doesn't always settle well in your system.
Oh, it certainly does.
And everything that tastes good doesn't make you feel good.
Right.
So what I've learned is I'd rather feel better all day than to feel good while I'm eating something for 3 to 5 minutes, however it takes you to eat that piece of cake.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it is a mental discipline, because I used to be, and obviously used to be. It's just before these health issues that I've acquired. And you know how I was in the gym. I mean, at the end of the day, and you and I working out, running next to you in the treadmill, and trying to beat each other, time, but I miss those days, in its inception. Largely because of unfortunate medications that that my cardiologist put me on 3 years ago, and it caused us too much of a weight gain. One of the medications slows my heart rate down, so it doesn't work harder. So it's a beta blocker. But anybody knows that the beta blocker is a form of a steroid. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it blocks something else, but it helps. And he goes, "Well, it's not a steroid." But I'm telling you, Doc, I know what my body's doing. You know what I'm saying? Because you're talking about somebody that was animately fit. You know what I'm saying? And being in the gym all the time, and having to go from that to putting on this weight. And I'm kiddingly, but seriously, we do have our little sweets in our diet. But our diets, here's the thing is that we don't eat, big meals. We don't eat big meals. He and I don't eat big meals, at the end of the day. And he knows I try to get him away from eating beef a lot of times, or things of that nature. And we stick to the chickens and things of that nature. Before we moved to LA, we were even a little bit more disciplined behind it. Right. So for me, is that what I've experienced is that when your body has been such in a fitness mode for 25 years, literally, you know my story, taught aerobics and holding yards. So I'm like the basketball or the football player. You know what I'm saying? Right. Once they fully stop, the body's like, oh hell yeah, we can put on pounds now. Forget we take it over. You know what I mean? Right. So, and then combination with that, with the medication and not having the gallbladder. So processing things is so hard now, and again, you and I've talked about this before, is that one of the things that doesn't go straight through me is the worst thing in the world is chicken tenders and French fries.
Somebody put up, I think.
I don't have.
Go ahead.
I don't have an issue with the digestive problem with that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But anything outside of that, I mean, even veggies, like I better be near the restroom. Tell you 30 minutes later, but you had a point. Then we'll go on some other topics.
I mean, I think it was Melissa that wrote, yes, it's a mental discipline. You have to be disciplined in whatever you're doing. To be honest with you, I can say when I was in college, when I was really in the gym, really trying to beat the weights, trying to find a way of eating healthy, I think, and I don't know if this is not for people who are having to work sometimes probably I might be wrong in this, but people who have a different way of a different lifestyle. Let's just say, for instance, if you work in an office all day and you need to relieve that stress, relieve that, pressure, I feel like, there's a luxury in that you can go to the gym. You have the energy to go to the gym to work out and to eat healthy. And you might you might have a different outlook on how to do things differently than somebody who works in let's just say in a retail store, who have to, do manual labor. Mm-hmm. For example, I work at CBS. I work for 7 days during, 7 days a week. 7 days a week. 7 days a week. It seems pretty much. And I'm tired, literally tired. I don't have that type of energy to go and work out. But now this is not, an excuse. Now I could come home and eat healthy, but sometimes I am so beat down, anything I can find on the table, I'll eat because I'm too tired to get up and juice. I'm too tired to get up and make a full course meal. Sometimes, and this is just, people that I hear all the time, it's a luxury to have that time to get out there. And do you agree? Do you think that mindset of it being a luxury to eat healthy, because it does take discipline, Harold? Do you think that is some people's excuse to not getting healthy? Because I'm not, capable, because I'm tired, because of my job, because of whatever that's going on in my life, If that's the situation that you hear from other people from time to time.
And I do hear that. I hear a lot of people say it.
Oh, go ahead.
I hear from a lot of people that it's too expensive. It requires a lot of time. But what I say about that is that it's an investment that we have to make, and it's for our own self-care, because if we don't take care of our bodies, the result is going to be that we're going to end up, I think in the African-American community, especially, we think once you hit a certain age, you're automatically going to have high blood pressure or diabetes or all those ailments. Well, that's true if you are eating the typical American diet. Those things are going to come, coupled with the stress that so many of us are under, because our whole health is not just about what we put in our mouth, it's about what's going on in our heads.
And a lot of that, exactly.
Yeah. And so we have to make ourselves a priority and makes our self-care important to us, so that we don't wait until you get a diagnosis like I got of cancer before you start to try to correct things. And for me, it was a no-brainer, because of my cancer diagnosis, I know that people can get cancer again. And my whole mindset shifted, because there was things that I was doing that created a space for that cancer to happen in my body. And so it required me to do things different and to take care of myself better, because so often we're working so hard and we're not taking care of ourselves. And I think that, making ourselves a priority is so important.
Exactly. We're gonna go to a commercial real quick here, but we're gonna come back. And what I want to do is do a little paperclip because I really feel like after we talk about more hot topics of the week and there's all this other messes going on, I really want to go as far as toward the end of the show. I want to talk about mind discipline, spiritual discipline tonight. Okay, I kind of feel like we need to go that way. The words that come out of our mouth, you know what I'm saying, and that dictating our future and what happens, and it kind of ties into our nutritional aspect. We're going to pull that together later on in our conversation tonight. But we're going to go to a commercial, and then we're going to come back and talk about some of the events of the week and what's going on. Okay?
Yes.
All right. We'll be right back after this commercial, guys.
You are above average. You are breathtaking. You are loving. You are beautiful. You are legendary. You are a luxury. You are kingly. You are an artist. You are life. You are amazing. You are captivating. You are kind. You are knowledgeable. You are a blessing. You are Black Boulevard.
Hello and welcome back, guys. Welcome back to Truth Behind the Truth. Having such a wonderful discussion tonight with our co-host tonight, our doctor himself, Harold LaFall. Want to remind you guys that we're here every week, Saturday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. on the Pacific Time on the West Coast. Remind you to go to the Truth Behind the Truth page. Get that T-shirt. Get that T-shirt. We need them orders coming in, guys. Get those T-shirts. And Harold's going to talk about some of his products a little bit later on this evening as well. Vote. Please vote. Vote. No, please. There's no please there. Just vote. Simple. There is no please. Just vote. It's just vote. That's it. Plain and simple. Just vote. Okay. Commercial came on before that said vote. Just go ahead and do it. Yeah. With that being said, oh my God, can we just get into the debate? Okay. All right. I'll start off. You guys did. I thought it was a better debate. Okay. Then the last one was a debacle. It was not a debate. It was a debacle. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it was just the worst thing that I have ever seen in my lifetime on television in terms of presidential, or if you want to give it that. But since it was soon to be the 4 years, I've never had a president anyway. Okay, y'all gave him that title. I ain't giving that title. Okay, our president is in Chicago. Okay, he had his other house in Chicago with his wife and his children. Okay, and our president, he's just been inactive. Okay. Him and the first lady has been inactive for 4 years. Okay, because so when you went from class to ass, I mean, come on, come on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, class to trash. I mean, who wants a first lady that knows everybody knows what's in between her legs? But anyway, we ain't gonna go there tonight, okay? But it goes on what's going on, what's in the White House. That's the kind of husband she had. So hey, go some territory. Okay, at the end of the day. So the one point I want to bring, I do want to talk about the debate. We'll dissect that a little bit. But hey, we got to get credence to the who during that debate. The Fly run the debate. Got more exposure to the debate. Hey, I'm telling you, the Fly. It's so funny. The Fly has now got his own Twitter page, Instagram, Facebook. Okay, and what's that other one? TikTok.
The Fly is famous. The Fly is famous.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? The debate itself was a very civilized debate, thank God. Mm-hmm. But there were some moments where I felt like the moderator didn't hold too much weight in the situation. I felt like, I don't know what's wrong with these moderators these days. I just wish they had a better system and muting the mics when somebody is trying to overtalk somebody. I feel like you need to have a button to mute the mic after they have said what they have said so the other person can get their view across. It's just, I know it's a debate. A debate is a debate, but at the end of the day, we as the American people need to know what are your ideas for our lives. Right. I think, people make it more of and I don't know, probably it's just the society that we live in. We like to see people trash each other. It's just, politics has now become more reality show for us as a society that has tarnished itself. Mm-hmm. And it has made more people not believe in our system. Mm-hmm. It makes people not believe in our politicians that, it's now all for grabs at this point. Right. But going back to the debate, Kamala played herself very well, even though I think she was trying not to the public to be this, culture-wise, they like to stereotype the black woman as being the angry black woman. Right. She played her part very well. And I know she wanted to say some things. I know in her eyes she wanted to say more. Mm-hmm. I think in Pence's situation, Pence was just, oh God, he just reminded me of one of those evangelical speakers. Right. Okay. I could see that. From TBN. I could see that. Okay. From the 700 Club. Right. I just felt like, him and Joel Osteen went to the same mentor.
Well, I wouldn't put Joel Osteen in his category.
Well, listen, it's just he was trying to get that preaching, philosophical, evangelical moment where he was expressing to the American people what Trump has did for us as a country. What Trumpism has did for America, which we all knew what that Fly knew was full of shit. Right. That's why the Fly flew on his head, because he smelled the shit that was coming out of his mouth and decided to stay there for a moment. It's like, listen, you are full of shit, so I'm going to stay on you until your situation is over. But otherwise, it was a great debate.
Right.
It was better than the last one.
Right.
Thank God.
But I feel
like, in some moments, I feel like they need to answer the questions without bringing up the people that they are uplifting, which is Biden, which is Trump. I want Kamala to come out and say, well, this is the idea for as a team, for us, not as for what Biden is going to bring, but as a team, what we are going to bring the American people.
Right.
I think I'm so tired of these vice presidents uplifting, and I'm gonna end it right here, but I just feel like they need to stop uplifting it and stop bashing it and just ask the question.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Right,
sorry.
you had a
Answer
point
the
here.
question.
One of the things that I found so interesting that Pence did, that Trump did as well, is that they never answered the questions.
Oh, absolutely.
None. I mean, so I don't know their position on anything. None of the questions that were asked, they were going sticking to their talking points and refused to answer the questions around key issues around race, around its tax situation. So none of those questions were answered. It was like they just ignored the question. He just ignored the question and just started talking about what he wanted to share.
Right. Well, one of the things, just two things, and we can, dissect this for a minute, okay? Those of us, of course, went from high school, of course, in college, you participated in some debate team. If not, you're on a team or some form of that in your classroom or whatever the case may be. Number one is these people that I don't know, did they learn the art of debate in school, or whatever the case may be? Or even if they took political science has a section, correct me if I'm wrong, that has about debating skills.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? With it wrapped in the political science class. It has something about debating skills. Okay, so debating skills, number one, is not set to overtalk anyone. You state your case, and the person that comes behind you, whether it's at an elector or, whatever, 9 times out of 10, what happens in most debating situations, that person gets up, they make their statement, and you're either taking notes or you're doing whatever. They get down from the lector, and then you get up and say your part. You know what I'm saying? Greatest example. Okay, let's give it a movie example. Greatest example of debating skills or whatever, which didn't get to hold, was The Great Debaters.
Right.
Okay,
yeah,
great debaters. I mean, intensify, bring home strong points, all 9 yards, and said your point and got the hell out of the way. Okay, but this whole thing of consistently over talking one another is not a debate or not a debate for skill. The other point where you mentioned about was the narrative of not answering questions. That is such one of I think it's just like they go to school to skillfully not answer questions. That's one of the major things in politics. It's to skate around the issues, come up with something, and avoid answering the issue. Because number one, if you answer the issue specifically, then you're held to having to do that. And if you're held to having to do that, then if it doesn't happen, then you're proven to be a liar.
I feel like it's an insult to the average American in a way.
Well, it is.
Because it's like if you go for a job interview and the interviewer asks you, why should I hire you for this job? What makes you qualified for this job? And you don't, and we have to give our best answer. We have to tell them of our resume. We have to tell them that I have people skills, or I might have had a past in customer service that guaranteed me great for this job, and give him or her examples. I feel like sometimes, as for me, if I'm standing you giving you BS answers, which I think most politicians, as Americans, we have been so accustomed to our politicians to give us.
Well, it's a word, politicized.
Well, I feel like that's the biggest insult to the average American who goes to work every day, who asks for a loan, who have to fill out questions, who have to ask people for help and give them answers. Because I just feel like you have to give us a reason to vote for you. And make it a great reason. Make it so that I can feel comfortable. But if you're going to sit there and just bash and tear down, that doesn't make it. It doesn't help the situation if I need help on my health insurance, on my wage, on my Social Security. It doesn't health situations. And, you know, I just feel like it is for me to watch something like that, to watch Trump spaz out, to watch Pence spaz out, to watch politicians spaz out. It's just the biggest insult.
I got you. To American people.
To the American people.
Did you have a point about that, Harold?
No, that's so true, D. Because like you said, if you were interviewing for a job and you didn't answer the questions, you're not going to get the job.
Right.
You're not going to get the job. So it's like you're just disqualified. And so the fact that you know that is their stance and their strategy just makes no sense. But nothing about this administration makes sense.
Well, it absolutely does. It doesn't. With that being said, we're going to move on to the point of the corona diagnosis, this super injection that, you know, made you feel like I am on top of the world because I've been injected by anything else, you know, and him going and talking about the Trump. Okay, I won't say the other name, and then him being diagnosed, you know, and let's take it starting from the garden party, okay? And I'm gonna say the garden party because it was the garden party of spreading diseases, okay? And everyone coming out of that being infected and everything else, you know, and around that. But for him having to finally go to the hospital, you know, the whole night, as you know, the timeline leading up to all of that. But, you know, it's so sad that this man, even being diagnosed, has still not accepted the responsibility of the virus. Hasn't. Mm-hmm. He has not accepted the responsibility because even the verse, and at this point, we still don't know whatever's brewing in his system, whatever cocktail they came to, you know, it's funny that they call it a virus cocktail. Okay. It made me think you can shot with vodka and gin and, you know, and some hypnotic and, you know, and everything else in between. Because you said a cocktail. I mean, you know, that's a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? However, you know, and then for that to be said, you know, and then, you know, there's so many ways I could go with this. And first of all, I understand that he's this person that y'all elected to be in the White House. However, you're going to put all of these experimental opportunities in this man, but you have lost 200,000 people. You know what I'm saying? If 500,000, not 500 of those, 5,000 of those people that you would have taken, can you imagine what would have happened to these family members that have lost these people if you just took 5,000 of the 200,000 and did the same thing for them? You know, the gratefulness, the gratitude that would have come from these you know, these people, particular families and things like this to be them in this way. But you take this man and pump all of this stuff, I'm about to say something else, you know, into them, and then give this person, I'm about to say the F word, a steroid behind that he's already doesn't have good sense, you know, and then put an additional drug in him that anybody knows in like we were talking about fitness earlier, people that take steroids, they go mentally crazy. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, they have very erratic behaviors. They don't think clearly. They go on all these other tangents and all this type of thing, and put this in this man and then put him in front of people again. Really? I mean, this whole week has just been like, what the hell is going on? Not with us, because we're saying, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We're saying, you know, people on this show is saying. The majority of the people that have taken a step out are saying, but you wonder what is going on with these people. Are you that deceived?
Yeah.
You know, I know I said a lot right there, but you know what I'm saying? But it's kind of a little bit more than that. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to just say, and the fact that this administration doesn't even follow the protocol that they set forth in terms of social distancing and in terms of wearing a mask, you know, they're having gatherings where that's not even a requirement. Right. I noticed that when Pence's wife came on stage, his wife didn't even have a mask, you know, and I'm like, what is the message, you know, that's being conveyed, you know?
Right. Especially for those who have to work essential jobs, who have to wear a mask almost every day. It's part of the policy. But, you know, to go back into, you know, why do people still follow this man? I'm such a history buff, you know, this more. It's just the fact that I always say, if you don't know your history, you're deemed to repeat the history. You know, as the American people, those who are more attuned to what's going on and can see right through the messiness, has really lost hope in this president. Those who probably had voted for him, but voted for him for a different agenda than the agenda that is going on right now with this COVID, probably see right through the glass of hypocrisy and craziness at this point. It almost put me in the sense of what the German people, and this is where I get historical, so follow me. But this is 2020 right now. Think about those people in 1940 who lived in Germany. Now, Germans were going through the Great Depression. They were going through economic crisis. And then around 1938, Hitler was just the biggest power because now they had gained some economic stance in the world after the Great Depression. Mm-hmm. Then come 1940 and World War II begins. Mm-hmm. Now, think about it. The German people at that point in time, and follow me because I know I'm going historical with this, believed that Hitler could gain the world without war because they went through World War I already. Mm-hmm. They didn't want more death. So they thought, well, you know what? If he goes and invades these countries, we want and we gain, some type of peace in the midst of this, then we're okay. Mm-hmm. But what happened was in 1940 when he invaded Poland, war began because Britain decided to, declare war on Germany and France. Okay. The German people believed, like some of those people who invested in Trump believed that he could heal this nation, make America great again without COVID, without economic crises, without, the belief was there.
Good point.
Just like the Germans believed that Hitler could invade these countries without another world war.
Wow, good point.
It makes me realize that, people don't understand this is a story that's being rewritten and rewritten and rewritten. The belief in our leaders, right? We can believe so much that we can fall blind to what's going on. But those who fell blind to Hitler died with Hitler. Right. Those who didn't believe in Hitler either survived or, they survived the war, or some were not, in that capacity too. But you have people who believe in Trump and who are willing to go and invade a governor in the state of Michigan. Right. Mm-hmm. They're willing to put their lives on the line to go and get a governor. Right. Mm-hmm. And I mean, for real. It's the saddest thing. And I'm sorry. I'm sitting here like, when are those people who believe, when are their belief is going to crash?
And I don't want to cut you off, but so did you have a point right quick?
And I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, that was good. You had a point here?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, it's amazing, and I love how our conversations are somewhat organic. We're going to go to a commercial real quick with that. But picking backing off your point where I said earlier how we're going to talk about the mental and spiritual capacity of society today. It's a very key point of where if you caught that, Harold, where you were going with that. So we'll pick back up with that, and that'll lead us into the rest of our show, when we come back from the commercial. Okay. Mm-hmm. But very good point of it. Mm-hmm. So we'll be back with you guys real quick after this commercial break.
You are above average. You are breathtaking. You are loving. You are beautiful. You are legendary. You are a luxury. You are kingly. You are an artist. You are life. You are amazing. You are captivating. You are kind. You are knowledgeable.
Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to Truth Behind the Truth. Tonight we're here with our great and illustrious, wonderful brother, Dr. Harold Fall, is with us tonight as our co-host. Want to remind everybody to say,
You're
hey,
gonna get me in trouble calling me doctor.
Well, you can be self-proclaimed doctor. It's okay.
Claim it.
Yeah, claim that doctor status. You know what I mean? Okay, honorary Dr. Harold Fall. Okay, there we go. But guys, we want to welcome our YouTube viewers again, once again, and everybody from our Facebook as well. Soon to be our Instagram page as well. Guys, if you do miss any portion of the show, you can always go back and see it a little bit later after we're done. Go back and do our video library and catch all of our shows. Binge watch us. You binge watch everything else. Binge watch Truth Behind the Truth. We got a lot of great topics out there for you to review. And want to remind you again, we'll be back into our Actor Symposium next week. With Mr. Keith Burt from the Have and the Have Nots will be with us as our special guest actor next week. All right, so digging into what we were talking about. So we're going to take a shift now. And Harold, I want you, if you don't mind, go ahead and take it legally. We're going to go into how the human idea of mentally and spiritually, and just as you left off the point of how can people just move in these dimensions of dementia? Because I'm saying, because you're really losing your mind as to wanting to go after a governor. You know what I'm saying? That's a dimension activity. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Well, you know what we're seeing is that a lot of people who just feel like they have no power.
Yes.
They feel like they have no power, and they look at Trump as if he's the answer. And they're willing to follow and do anything that he says. And it's all rooted in fear. It's all rooted in fear. And a lot of it is fear of Black people. There's this subliminal fear that some whites have that Black people are going to somehow take over and try to take back and get all of the things that were taken from us during the whole slavery stuff. And that is a real fear that some have. And so Trump really speaks to that. And that's why so many are so willing to blindly follow him, is because, and rooted in all of their antics, is this deep rooted fear of Black people, you know?
Right. I got you.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad for that, you know, that particular point, because this man sits up and tries to pretend that he's not a racist and all this other type of stuff. And, you know, of course, you know, being able to dissect that. But, you know, 2 points you've made about fear. Okay.
If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck.
Right. It is a duck. Okay.
If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. You know, whether or not he says it or not. You know.
Right. It's a duck, and
it's yellow.
And it quacks very loud. Okay,
it's yellow.
It's orange.
Right.
And it's orange.
An orange duck. Okay. But getting into the thing about fear, you know, and from a spiritual perspective, we know that fear is probably one of the major things that grips people's lives. Okay. The one thing that we will all agree on this point is that, like our show always emphasizes, is that if you have some sort of understanding with your creator, you know, at the end of the day, some sort of understanding with that, it may not be from all of the scenarios that we could factor into this particular, you know, conversation. But what we focus in on, say, work on that development with your creator. Okay. Then you won't start looking for Trump and anyone else to be, quote unquote, your savior. You don't understand when that point there. Then as you start to work on that relationship with your creator, then you have to start loving yourself, because you love your relationship with your creator, you know? And then there, you're able to extend that out to humanity, you know? So it's a 3-step process. I know people have a problem with following that because they don't want to face themselves in the dark.
That's the truth.
Right.
Now that's the point right there.
Okay.
They don't want to face themselves
in the dark,
but they rather want to live their lives through somebody else.
Right.
Let's just take Trump out of the situation. We look at the way we do our celebrities, the way we do our athletes, the way we do our ministers, our fitness gurus, our whoever that you look up to. We want to take ourselves out the equation and follow the leader instead of being our own true authenticity, our true authentic selves, let's say it like that. Mm-hmm. Because you look at the way people are redoing the physical self of their bodies. You look at these girls that want to be a Kylie Jenner. Now, what has Kylie Jenner did for for the human race,
right?
For world peace,
right.
To make you want to look like that replica of that face.
Right.
I'm just saying, it's just the fact that as a culture, we spiritually do not love ourselves, and we numb ourselves every day to that through what we say and what we listen to and what we watch.
Right. I'm going to go here. I'm going to bring your point up 1 second. I want to go back to the dark syndrome just for a quick second, because I had a point where I wanted to bring about that. So the problem with the dark, okay, because it interjects the opportunity of fear. Okay, because what happens when you can't see something, you become afraid of it. Okay, you're afraid of the anticipation, and everything that's around you becomes like so engripped with it. Okay, now here's a key element to that, and I'm sure you can piggyback on this. The opportunity of standing in the dark gives you an opportunity to embrace the light. But see, you bring the light into the room or into that dark place, but you've got to recognize that you are the light. Then the darkness becomes dissipated. Then the fear becomes a null and point void. But go ahead, Harold.
Well, you know, one of the things that it took me 50 years to really understand is that everyone is our equal.
325.
I missed.
What'd you say?
25 years. I heard.
Thank you. I heard But one of the things that it took me a long time to discover is that everyone is our equal.
Yes.
But in our society, we have this tendency to make some people special, to make us comfortable with playing small in life.
Yes.
And so they're special, and that's why they're able to do that or have that. But I can't have that because I'm not special. But the fact is, everyone is our equal. There's no one that's here and here. Everyone is your equal. So when you understand that, you can walk through life with the confidence, whether or not you got $1 million in the bank or $2 in the bank, with the knowing that your self-worth is not based upon those things.
Absolutely.
Your self-worth is based upon who you are and is given to you by mere fact that you were born.
Right.
But we live our lives so often trying to prove and defend our self-worth because of the trauma that all of us have experienced at some point, and most often the trauma that we've experienced as young people. And sometimes it was at the hands of our parents who didn't know that they were creating trauma, because hurt people, and victims also create more victims. They just didn't know. And so our job always really is to work on and doing what you were talking about, JB, in terms of self-discovery and understanding and realizing our connection to God. We're all created by God.
Absolutely.
Each of us are created by God. And I think for many of us, we have kind of lost that message because it's gotten blurred by religion. And so we looked at religion as that is being God and put those together, and they are not the same. And so having that connection with God and whatever you call God helps you to know your worth, and it helps you to know that, as James Baldwin tells us, that your crown has already been bought and paid for.
Yes.
All you have to do is put it on. And so we all have value and worth just as we are, but we have to peel back the layers and unlearn some of the lies that we were taught. You know, we've been programmed with a lot of lies about ourselves that have us showing up in life really small and looking for validation in other people.
Absolutely. You know, I want to pick up and you can go and make your point. That when you were saying that that religion, and here's the thing, and guys, we're not getting into a religious discussion, but we want to show you how religion taints your perspective on your life as it is. So, you know, in a religious practice, religious institutes, they're designed, and historically speaking, believe me, I always have to put this disclaimer. I'm a very good steward of historical religious behaviors and how things have come about. So if anybody wants to question that with me, I can always go toe to toe with you about how it happens. You know, there's biblical understanding and there's religious understanding, and then there's a combination of the two. So here's the long and short of it. All right. worship, or what we consider the worship of synagogues, or the places that we come in to places of worship, if you want to say that, whatever that the narrative may be. There's a reason why the minister, reverend, whatever person, however accolades you want to, they've always been in a position of lifted up. Okay, because it was to give an example that you were beneath them. Anytime that you look up to something other than that, you feel less than. So anything that always comes from that, it comes down to you. So you never feel like you're on equal status with them. You brought out a very good point. You're on equal status. I'm sorry. I know some of you are not going to like what I'm saying, but it's the truth. Okay. There is no difference in a person that's been called to the ministry or what you consider called, not called to the ministry. Okay. Everybody has a given word by their creator. They live by that given word. The scriptures say man lives by the preceding word of God. Okay, meaning that everything that's coming out of the mouth of, or the spirit, or the recognition of that spirit is a preceding thing. It's not what Pharaoh did. Okay, it's not what all of that happened back then, but it's a preceding word. It's not even what Jesus did. It's about what you're doing as an individual. It's about how you wake up every morning. It's about how you go into your grace and your gratitude and your thankfulness. And bottom line, your story. Go ahead, Harold.
Well, I wanted to just, be the, it's just people, what y'all are bringing is wonderful. I feel like I always believe everybody, and this is just me, that everybody are equal. But other people say that, oh, well, those things are very socialist. They're very against what we believe who should be the top dog. You know how many poor people who go out and vote or go out and find these minimum wage jobs? They believe that the people on top should not pay higher taxes. Absolutely. They believe that they are in a place where they feel like they have been handed an opportunity that gives them, that they feel like, well, you know what, this is where I should be because I did not fit the qualifications of. And I'm like, no, there has to be something better. There should be something greater for you to come in and do your job and survive and to live on what you work for. But I'm gonna get to the ending of this, but it's just the fact that through religion, that through politics, that through music, whatever that you have initiated people to believe that I should be at the bottom of the totem pole. And it's sad. Spiritually and mentally is a sad thing in our culture.
Well, these are belief systems.
Those are belief systems.
They're belief systems. And unfortunately, as you said earlier, Harold, we're all products of belief systems. Okay.
Right.
They come from family. They come from there's a quick story, and I'll let you finish out your point. There's a quick story. It's a funny quick story about it's called ham preparation. Okay. So what it is I heard this person say one time, it's like they prepared a ham for Thanksgiving, right? So they would bring the ham every year, for preparation for that particular point in time. And one year somebody brought a ham that was too big. Okay. But every year they believed this ham had to go in the same pot every year. Okay. So what happens is they brought the ham too big and they said, well, this is not going to work because we don't believe it can work. And the person said, well, why don't you just get a bigger pot? So in other words, why did you not expand your belief system to believe something greater than what you did? But you wanted to keep fitting it in that one pot because what you did all the time. But the belief system keeps you in there, and all the way that comes behind that. But go with your point.
Right. No, I was just gonna say, pain is information.
Yes, it is.
Pain is information, and if there are pain points in your life, whether it's financial, relationship, mental, emotional, that's information. And that's information so that we can do something differently. Our belief systems somehow sometimes keep us stuck because we are so stuck in that and unwilling to open up to the possibility that there may be a different perspective, a new, different way of looking at it. Because, Wayne Dwyer says, when you look at things, how does that go? Basically, it says the way you look at things, when you look at them differently, the situation changes.
Right.
The situation changes, because you could You can lose your job and look at it like, oh my God, this is the end. Or you can look at losing my job as this is an opportunity for me to do something different, do something better, or change direction. You know, in the Chinese language, the word crisis has two definitions, one meaning danger and the other meaning opportunity. So we are in a crisis situation right now, and there's a lot of stuff, a lot of danger that we are encountering, but there is an opportunity in spite of everything that's going on for us to evolve, to get better, to do better, to break some of those belief systems that have kind of held us bound and held us back.
Right. You know, we're going to wrap it. I'm going to let you finish out tonight, but I just got a download, okay, just a second ago. In the root word of crises, okay, what you just mentioned about crises, listen to the narrative or the root word in that word, okay? Just take a moment about it, okay? And how we have, for centuries, or how in the development of that word, how we've missed it, okay? What it actually can be your liberty. Okay, what that root word, okay, it can be your liberty. Christ sees. Think about that.
Right.
Root word, Christ sees.
That's good.
Okay,
Christ sees.
That's good.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
So how we have to, and how spiritually that word was so inside that if you're taking what Christ sees, in meaning the Spirit, meaning the Holy, you see the end results. Woo.
All right.
That's good. That's good.
Right.
That's good.
Oh wow.
That's
Christ
good.
sees.
That's good.
I didn't want to go there. I'm going there.
Look, you said it all now. I ain't got nothing to say now. You said
that was a steal out moment right there. I said that came as a download.
Right.
So hey, we're gonna leave it at that point. Talk about the book real quick. I don't want to go any further than that. Tonight, guys, Christ sees.
He is back. In the spiritual realm.
In the spiritual realm.
He ain't coming back in the physical. He coming back in the spirit.
Now we're talking about the physical. We're talking about the spirit, guys.
The spirit.
All right.
The spirit.
Right.
But go ahead and talk about real quick about about your book, and things of that nature, and give them one more time a reminder about the juicing and what happened. Okay.
So we have the 10-day juice cleanse challenge. If you're ready to reset your eating habits, you want to lose some weight, but more importantly, you want to get some clarity and you want to fuel your body with nutrients to help your body heal. And because that's what the body is designed to heal. And if you feed it with the proper nutrients, that's what it will do. And so if you want to do that, we're having a 10-day juice cleanse. It's October 23rd through November 1st. You can sign up on the website. The website is The Good Living Now, and juicing books and all the books and everything is on the website.
Okay, and you guys, you'll be able to find the website. We'll post it on the Truth Behind the Truth page as well, so you'll be able to click on it and just go straight to the link. We'll set it up with that. Tell them about your book, Carol. The I Am Enough. I Am Enough. Okay. Your book is
So I Am Enough. It's a daily. It's 90 days of spiritual nuggets to discover your authentic self.
Yes.
And for me, that's an ongoing process. It's not like you just arrive at a place where you feel like you're enough. Every day we have to do that mental preparation work and put on our armor. And it gives you every day a daily message to remind you of your value, to remind you of your worth, because we can't look for other people to validate us. We have to do that for ourselves.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said. Guys, remember what we were talking about tonight? Christ sees. That is so powerful. Guys, we want to thank you so much for tuning in tonight. This has been a powerful, wonderful show. Our brother, this is the fall. Whatever. Okay. Guys, you were definitely seeing Harold with us from time to time as our special guest co-host, being a part of the show as well. Brother, we thank you so much. Giving you a big shout out, to your family, to your son, everyone. We're going to look for a visit to the West Coast soon because y'all here from California. You just decided to live on the East Coast. I don't know why.
Right.
Wait a minute. We have a question on how to order your book, Harold.
Yeah.
It's on the website.
It's on the website. Okay. I'll repeat the website one more time for you.
It's
Go ahead and repeat it.
it's The Good Living Now, thegoodlivingnow.com.
Okay, great. And again, guys, it will be on the Truth Behind the Truth page as well. So you can go there and click on it, go right to the link as far as that's concerned.
Yes.
Remember next week's guest? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Mr. Keith Burke from the Have and the Have Nots will be with us back in our Actor Symposium. Y'all have a fantastic night. Any closing you want to say?
Oh, to be honest, Harold, y'all, this has been a great conversation.
Yes.
A great discussion. And listen, this is not going to be your last time come on this show. Come on back. It might take some time, but we're going to have you back.
Yes.
But this is something that was really needed to discuss.
Yes.
And I, to be honest with you, this was a great discussion.
Good, absolutely. Fabulous. Guys, thanks again for tuning in. YouTube, we thank you for tuning in tonight. Guys, remember you can find us on 3 different channels at this particular point in time. Go back, do the videos. If you didn't catch anything on this show, go back and review the show. Real shortly, it'll be available for you to go back and start from the beginning and catch everything about what we talked about tonight.
And we're also on YouTube too.
Yes.
So if you want to subscribe on YouTube, just type in these. I think it's 4 letters, TBTT on YouTube.
On YouTube, TBTT on YouTube.
TBTT.
Yes, and we do need you to subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah,
I forgot to mention
subscribe
that.
on
Yes.
YouTube. If you
Please do.
missed out on Facebook,
yes,
we're on YouTube too.
Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We'll see you next week. And remember what? Christ sees. And it's in truth behind the truth. Y'all have a great night.
You are above average. You are breathtaking. You are loving. You are beautiful.